nation's commercial capital. This is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight.
Hello and welcome. I am Olumide Macaulay. Tonight, crisis in this Benue State chapter of the APC deepens. 4 governorship aspirants to challenge conduct of primary election in court. Imo State Governor Rochester Okorocha asked the State Police Command to remain non-partisan during the general elections. And in continuation of our 2014 review, today we turn our attention to the foreign scene. And alleged Al-Qaeda commander dies just days before going on trial in New York over the 1998 U.S. Embassy attacks in Africa.
In our business news tonight, Gombe State Government proposes an appropriation bill of over 87.7 billion naira for the 2015 fiscal year.
In sports news, Andy Murray wins his first title of 2015 as Novak Djokovic pulls out from the Abu Dhabi World Tennis Championship final.
We begin tonight with politics. It appears the All Progressives Congress in Benue State may be heading for a crisis, as aggrieved governorship aspirants are set for a legal battle, challenging the emergence of Samuel Ortom as the party's consensus candidate in the forthcoming governorship election. 4 of the aspirants have jointly petitioned the party's national headquarters, alleging lack of a level playing field in the December 5th primary, and have resolved to compel the party to conduct a fresh primary election.
The once busy state secretariat of the All Progressive Congress now looks deserted after weeks of political horse trading and agitation on who flies the party's flag in 2015. The Jime campaign organization says it resorted to the court after the petition jointly signed by its candidate and 3 others wasn't addressed by the party. The consensus candidate, however, says due process was followed in his selection.
So you can see, this is the political solution we sought for. And somewhere along the line, it appears somebody has a big weight among the national officials.
It is true there was no preference, but it was important for the party to present a candidate. And this came through consensus, which is allowed by the party.
Despite these claims, the party and some members are locked in counter-accusations on the legality or otherwise of the emergence of its governorship candidate.
The INEC had their own program. So the time for the nomination elapses. It was now late for the party, the stakeholders to sit and decide the consensus candidate.
I am an aspirant for that election. If it was consensus, it would have been 5 of us. And if 5 of us, we do not agree on ourselves, then the leadership would have met to decide among many things.
Some of the candidates, in reacting to the claim by Dr. Samuel Ortom, are sticking to their guns, insisting that the botched December the 5th primary must be concluded.
When this issue of venue became a big problem, on the one hand, the party secretariat insisting that it must be at Half Heaven, the hotel that belongs to Mrs. Akume. Discomforted as most of us were, we obliged. Then the issue of payment became another matter. Funds were raised, the place was paid for. Just when the conduct was to start, word came that the owners or the proprietress of the place insisted that she didn't feel safe and people should go away. So it became curious that at every point we saw an effort to frustrate these primaries being held.
If there was going to be consensus, I believe that it is only proper that all of us who participated in that process, particularly those of us who paid for the APC forms, went for screening, and participated at the primaries that were botched.
Notwithstanding the threat, the APC governorship candidate says he remains the best man for the job.
And as the general elections approach, the role of the Nigeria police in the exercise is receiving critical attention. This time, the Imo State Governor, Rochas Okorocha, has challenged the police to remain non-partisan and not take sides with any political party in the elections. Addressing some officers in Owerri, the Imo State capital, the governor urged them to take or have the interests and security of Nigerians as priority.
The quarter guard welcoming the governor of the Imo Police Command. This is the first time the governor is visiting the command since the beginning of his administration. And the mission is simple: to interact with the men and officers of the command on the peaceful conduct of the forthcoming elections in the state. But first, the police chief in the state enumerates some of the achievements of the command under his leadership. He also points out that the command is ready and prepared to deal decisively with any group or person who attempts to disrupt the elections.
The Nigerian police will provide a level playing ground for all the aspirants. We will not be partisan, and I have been saying it as I've been drumming it around. The Nigerian police, Imo, will deal decisively with any group of person or any person that intends to disrupt or hijack or rig or the election. We will not, I will not allow that to happen.
For the governor, however, the Nigeria police must stay out of partisan politics.
Now politics have come. And all of you here, DPO, will bear me witness that since my emergence as a governor, I have never called the DPO or called the CP or DC to arrest anybody for any reason at all. And I have not interfered in any police matter, whether opponent or those in my party. And that's what it should be. Police must be allowed to do their work, and with which oath they have all sworn.
But it's not all about stern words for the police, as the governor donates 5 Hilux vans to the command and 8 them in crime fighting.
As soon as possible. Thank you, and God bless.
As the police heed the call to focus on their constitutional role of law enforcement and the residents remain law-abiding, a peaceful conduct of the general elections in the state appears achievable.
Meanwhile, the flag officer commanding the Eastern Naval Command, Rear Admiral Henry Babalola, has been speaking of the readiness of his command to assist in ensuring adequate security for the elections. Rear Admiral Babalola made the promise in Calabar, the Cross River State capital, shortly after taking over the affairs of the command from his predecessor, Rear Admiral Charles Medani, who is currently the Chief of Training and Operations, Navy Headquarters, Abuja. He also promised to build on the legacy of his predecessor to ensure that the eastern waterways and maritime space are safe for economic activity.
A parade by officers from across the states that make up the Eastern Naval Command for the outgoing flag officer. This is a customary event in the Navy, but also a show of appreciation for Rear Admiral Charles Medani's contributions towards the growth of the command. According to him, the top of his achievements during his tenure is his fight to reduce the rate of piracy and theft in the eastern waterways.
Today, as I stand here to say farewell to you all, I am glad to note that we have kept faith to that CNS, other and to my own promise. The command has been in the forefront in the fight to stop illegal lifting of the country's crude oil and illegal harvesting of our rich fishery resources by foreign criminal elements and their local collaborators.
Besides ensuring the safety of the waterways, The new FOC gives the assurance of his command's commitment towards assisting INEC to achieve peaceful elections in terms of providing adequate security.
If we are able to plug all leakages in areas of crude oil theft, I think we have more revenue for the country. So that is the major aim. And we want to be ready for the general elections coming up. That's one area too that we'll be ready to assist INEC, provide security, provide military aid to civil authority. I think that is the immediate plans I have.
The formations under the Eastern Naval Command are located in Cross River State, which is the headquarters, Akwa Ibom, and River State.
Now, the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, today named the immediate past Minister of Information, Mr. Labaran Maku, as leadership candidate in Nasarawa State. The party's national chairman, Chief Victor Ume, told our correspondent in Nasarawa State via telephone that Mr. Maku's name has been submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission to end the controversy over his candidature as the governorship candidate for the party's flag bearer for the 2015 poll. He said, quote, "There is no question about the party's governorship candidate in Nasarawa State. Maku's name has been accepted by the party and INEC." End of quote. The Ogun State Independent National Electoral Commission has released names of governorship candidates for the 2015 elections. Incumbent Governor Ibikula Amosun will run under the All Progressives Congress. The People's Democratic Party has Boyega Ishaka as its candidate, while the Nigerian National People's Party, NNPP, will field Adesina Akoni as its standard bearer. For the Hope Democratic Party, Olaniwaju Shokunbi is the governorship candidate, just as the Social Democratic Party has Babalola Akinodunsi, a senator currently representing the Ogun West Senatorial District, as its standard bearer. Onafadeji Benjamin is to fly the flag of the National Conscience Party. The Labour Party has Olabode Simeon as its candidate, while the People's Party of Nigeria will be represented by Eyewuawi Razak. In part two, after the break, Muslim clerics urge peace among Nigerians as some of the faithful march in Abuja to commemorate the birthday of Prophet Muhammad. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.